My bullied son destroyed his stepmother with stand-up comedy. The whole school witnessed it. When my ex-husband Greg married Vanessa 3 years ago, I tried to be optimistic. Our son Ethan was 12, then parent awkward, sensitive, and struggling with a mild stutter that appeared when he was nervous. I hoped Vanessa would be kind to him. The first few months seemed fine. Ethan would return from his weekend visits with new video games and stories about movies they'd watched. But gradually things changed. He'd come home quieter, his backpack stuffed with unwashed clothes because Vanessa forgot to do his laundry. He'd arrive hungry because dinner wasn't saved for him. "It's fine, Mom," he'd say when I asked. "Dad works late." I noticed how he'd check his phone constantly when it was time to go to his dad's house, his anxiety visibly rising. When I gently pressed, he finally admitted some things. How Vanessa would mimic his stutter when Greg wasn't around. How she'd call him your baggage when talking to his father. How she'd accidentally throw away his homework or forget to tell him about schedule changes. I approached Greg about it, but he dismissed my concerns. "You are just jealous," he said. "Vanessa says Ethan is being dramatic for attention by 15. Ethan had grown 6 inches but seemed smaller somehow. His shoulders hunched, his voice quieter. The stutter had worsened. The only time I saw glimpses of his old self was when he watched stand-up comedy specials laughing at John Mulaney or Mike Birbiglia. He'd replay certain bits, studying them like textbooks when the school announced a talent show. I was surprised when Ethan said he wanted to participate. "Stand-up comedy," he said quietly. "I've been writing some stuff." I was terrified for him public speaking with his stutter, but he seemed determined. On the night of the show, the auditorium was packed. Greg and Vanessa sat 3 rows ahead of me. When Ethan's name was called, I held my breath. He walked to the microphone without a single note card. For a moment, he just stood there, and I thought he might freeze. Then he spoke, and I didn't hear a single stutter. "My dad got remarried a few years ago," he began, his voice clear. "My stepmom is the kind of person who makes you feel invisible, which is actually impressive. Because I am 5'11" and still growing, she's really good at cooking," he continued. "Excuses mostly. Oh, I didn't make enough food for you. I thought you weren't coming, your plate must have fallen into the trash." People were laughing now, but I could see Vanessa's back stiffening. The best is when she thinks no one can hear her, she'll tell my dad, "Your baggage is here for the weekend," which is confusing because I bring like one backpack. That's carry on at most, the audience roared. Ethan gained confidence with each laugh, delivering 5 minutes of brutally honest observations about life with his stepmother parent, all packaged as perfectly timed comedy. I watched Greg's head turn slowly toward Vanessa, whose face had gone crimson. When Ethan finished, the applause was thunderous. Crimber parents and students gave him a standing ovation. 3 different comedy club owners approached him afterward, offering him spots at their open mic nights. In the parking lot, I overheard Greg asking Vanessa if what Ethan said was true. She was stammering parrot now, she was the one with the stutter. That night, Ethan asked if we could get ice cream. As we sat with our sundaes, he seemed taller somehow. "Are you worried about going back to Dad's next weekend?" I asked carefully. "Not really," he shrugged, a small smile playing on his lips. "It's weird, but saying everything out loud made it less scary." "Plas," Dad called and said he's working from home next weekend. 2 weeks later, Greg requested a change to our custody arrangement. He wanted to spend one-on-one time with Ethan without Vanessa present. Paternally, he'd started noticing things. Ethan still does stand-up at school events. He doesn't stutter anymore, not even when he's nervous. Read out. Finding your voice is the best therapy of all.